everyone, I am Jackie Marie Pia Bugan, a second-year college student taking up Bachelor of Science in Criminology at Misamis Oriental Institute of Science and Technology, and in this video, I will discuss the Filipino core values. So, our learning objectives. So, we should be able to recognize and relate Filipino values, its structures, models, philosophical foundations, and elements. So, basic concept of values. Core values are a person's or organization's fundamental beliefs. These guiding principles dictate conduct and can assist individuals to know the distinction between right and wrong. It is also assists organizations by establishing an unwavering guide to determine if they are on the correct track and fulfill their objectives. So values are essential because they assist us to grow. So they assist us to build the future that we want to experience. So hundreds of choices are made every day by every person and every organization. So the choices we make reflect our values and beliefs and are always aimed at the particular purpose. So that aim is our person or collective needs to be satisfied. So when we make choices using our values, we create a conscious decision to concentrate on what matters to us. So they create inner cohesion within a group when values are shared. So Filipino value system. So race, strain, and cultural components such as ETA have derived Filipino values. Indonesians, Malayan, Hindu, and Chinese who created our moral scruple score. A cultural individuality combined with Spain-derived cultural components, the US, and the contemporary planetary society. So you can find Filipinos in almost every part of the globe. We rejoice at the sight of other co-Filipinos who were in a foreign nation as if there's something that connects us. So sometimes, if we don't know a person's nationality, but he or she looks like a Filipino, we often ask, Filipino ka ba? And we are happy when he or she answered yes. However, so if someone fails to satisfy our expectations in the manner they answer questions or in the manner they act, we say in frustration, kapwa Filipino ka pa naman. So Landa Jucano, a famous sociologist, says that there is no negative Filipino values, only the wrong use of values. Values slowly alter, but it depends on how powerful families are to preserve, promote, and pass on our cultural values from one generation to the next. So here in the Philippines, values are really of importance and should be respected. So as we grow older, our parents shape us different values from the time we were given by them. This value shapes our real Filipino culture, showing that we are conscious of others. The Filipino value system relates to the set of values or the value system that has historically been held by a majority of Filipinos in their life. So this system of Filipino values involves the distinctive combination of coherent ideologies, moral codes, ethical procedures, cultural etiquettes, and private values promoted by Philippine society. However, as with any culture, the values held sacred by any person may vary in the grounds of religion, education, and other variables. So as a general description, Filipino separate value system is mainly rooted in private alliance systems, particularly those based on kinship, duty, friendship religion, especially Christianity, and business interactions. Next is philosophical foundation of the Filipino values. So for the most part, Filipino values are focused on preserving social harmony. So mainly driven by a group's willingness to be accepted. The primary sanction against diverging from these values are ideas approximately translated as a sense of shame. So, and a more proper or self-esteem, social approval, group recognition, and group membership are significant issues. Caring for what others believe, say, or do is a powerful influence on Filipino social behavior. So the Filipino philosophy is basically non-dualistic. So according to the anthropologist Leonardo Mercado, he concludes, based on his linguistic analysis of Filipino value, terms such as loob, so in Cebuano, buot, that Filipinos desire harmony not only in interpersonal relationships but also with nature and religion, while remaining non-dichotomous. The Filipino wants to harmonize the object and the subject while keeping both as distinct and at the same time. So models of the Filipino values. So exogenous model or the foreign model. So a legal and formal model is defined as the international model. So Filipinos from Western cultures, particularly from Spaniards and the Americans, inherited the foreign model. So an example of foreign and or exogenous impact is the bureaucracy displayed in the Philippine government. Number 2 is indigenous model or the traditional model. So described as the traditional or non-formal model or guide. The indigenous model is deeply integrated in the Filipinos' subconscious. So structural and elements of Filipino values. So the Filipino value system is known to possess significant key components based on research, surveys, observations, anecdotes, and other literatures developed by scholars and researchers in relation to Filipino social values or core values, together with the Filipino character or identity of a person or individual known as the Filipino. So, one may notice how hiya, pakikisama, utang na loob are simply surface values, so readily seen and appreciated by many Filipinos. These three values are deemed branches of a single origin. So Filipino personality's real core value, so kapwa. It implies totally referring to society or not doing stuff alone. Ibang tao or other people and hindi ibang tao, not other people, are two types of kapwa. The surface values spin off the core values through pakikiramdams, pivotal aspect, or mutual internal perception or feeling for someone else. So other notable elements or motivations are optimism about the future, pessimism about current circumstances and activities, concern for other individuals, the presence of friendship and friendliness, the habit of being hospitable, spiritual nature, respect for oneself and others, respect for the female member of the society, fear of God, and abhorrence of cheating and other acts. So the values of the Filipino specifically uphold the following elements. So family, unit, solidarity, security of the Philippine economy, orientation towards small groups, personalism, the concept of doob or kalooban, so what's inside the self and the inner self, or the actual personal feeling or the self. So existence and maintenance of smooth interpersonal relationships and the sense of self. So the 5 core Filipino values, based on Dr. Ramirez's study, the Filipino worldview and values, and her perspective as a phenomenological sociologist from centuries of practice. Here are the 5 core values based on a Filipino's basic aspiration. So mapagpasalamat. This is based on the aspiration of Filipinos to pamumuhay or life, and pananalig sa Diyos at kapwa, God and people faith. Filipinos understand how life can be enjoyed. So we have plenty of vacations, celebrations, occasions, and meetings. Filipinos are cheerful and sociable, of course. So even in depressing circumstances, we wear smiles on our faces. So that's because we're always looking at life's bright side. We also have a positive outlook because even in the smallest things, we always find things to be grateful for. So we would always say salamat sa Diyos or thank God whenever excellent things occur, because Filipinos would attribute the blessings of life to higher being. So from whatever religion, we also recognize other people's excellent acts towards us and do our utmost to return the favor. Number 2 is matatag. Filipinos, being in a nation susceptible to natural disasters, have adjusted and learned to be powerful in moments of needs and in difficult circumstances that life throws at us. So these powers derive from our love of our family and our belief in the greater being. So this is based on the Filipinos' kaayusan or order aspiration. So in reality, the popular phrase of the Philippines is ayos na. When we are able to overcome problems, we say ayos na. We Filipinos are longing for kaayusan. And we will endure all and be powerful in the midst of hardship and challenges until we overcome the barriers. Number 3 is masigasig. We do everything we can to get it. When Filipinos dream of something, we're doing it for our loved ones and relatives. This is based on the kasaganaan or abundance and ginhawa or relief aspiration of Filipinos, not for himself but for his family. A Filipino aspires to abundance. So, masaganang bagong taon, bountiful New Year, is the Filipino translation for Happy New Year because we match happiness and celebration with abundance. So, ginhawa in Bisaya implies breath. And the soft breath flow is the soft life flow we call ginhawa. Ginhawa is feeling of well-being in a Filipino according to a lay theologian, Dr. Jose D. Mesa. So overseas Filipino workers would be in an instance of enduring being away from home to offer their families a healthy life, abundance and relief from hardships. Number 4 is mapagmalasakit. It is because of our family love extended to friends, neighbors, and others that naturally sympathetic Filipinos. This compassion allows us to assist others without an exchange asking for anything. So this is based on the aspiration of Filipinos to loob at damdamin and kapwa, other people. Loob is the seat of the dignity of the Philippines. Filipinos personality is expressed in his kalooban. Filipinos tune in the kalooban of each other by checking the situation of each other and talking about the life of each other. Filipinos use kapwa to refer not only to a stranger, but to a relative, a neighbor next door, a distant relative, or a friend because of our family culture. Our characteristic of mapagmalasakit makes it simple for us to promote the spirit of bayanihan, to unite and assist one another during calamities, and to celebrate together on unique occasions. Number 5 is magalang. So, the use of opo and pagmamano, hand kissing, are separate methods of regard for Filipino people. So we say these phrases and use this gesture to demonstrate our respect and love to elderly. So Filipinos respect is not just limited to the elderly but also to other people's properties, emotions, and ideas. So we are polite people. Our language is also respectful because it has no sex bias. For example, phrases kapatid, brother or sister, or asawa, husband or wife, or biyanan, father-in-law and mother-in-law, or anak, son and daughter, do not show gender differences. These words are certainly sex-friendly Filipino uniquely. So our respect for other people is an integral part of our culture and our language. So this is based on our lakas ng loob or kagandahang loob aspiration. So the Philippine National Police core values. Being a noble profession, the police service demands from its members specialized understanding and abilities, as well as great standard of ethics and morality. The members of the Philippine National Police must therefore conform to and internalize the key principles of love of God, respect for authority, respect for women, respect for sanctity of marriage, stewardship over material things, responsible dominion, and trustfulness. So, the police service in the Philippines is expressed in an acronym service. The acronym service stands for servanthood. As police affirm its unconditional service and love for the nation and individuals, police value a supportive and professional role, serves and protects its clientele and community with honesty, utmost devotion, and commitment above private concern. So excellence. Police are committed in doing and making things occur effectively and efficiently in all of their efforts as they strive to accomplish more consistently and outstandingly with tangible outcomes and far beyond their best. Responsible with accountability. Police carry out and execute their responsibilities and tasks as their moral duty is to serve the public with due diligence and always bearing in mind that they are accountable and duty bound to promote the public interest. So valuing people and respect for human rights. Police always maintain their fellow human beings' dignity whenever they cater their needs and are delicate and cautious in serving and protecting them with compassion and utmost regard for their human rights. So integrity. Police take an uncompromising and coherent position in the fulfillment of their obligation to live an honest, upright, and dignified life according to the highest ethical and moral norms, where their advocacy, values, and convictions are compatible with their words and actions. So courage. From their moral strength, police draw their collective and individual power of approach to always accept difficult duties, and they are courageous enough to speak out against temptations, anomalies, corruption, and exploitation, and stand firm. So empowerment. So police reach out and create bridges of collaboration, nurture volunteerism, and operate in harmony with their clientele by training individuals for a better and safer society in the process. So those are the acronyms of service. So S for servicehood, E for excellence, R for responsibility with accountability, V with valuing people and respect for human rights, and I integrity, C courage, and E for empowerment. So these are the acronyms for service, and that is all for my report. Thank you for watching.